Hope you're having a splendid Friday. And we're live. Okay. Let me introduce myself. My name is Connor Farrell. I am the U.S. Alpine Race Manager for Rossignol. Happy to be here today. Shout out to Ski Racing Media for putting this event on. It's a great alternative to what we're usually doing, which is traveling around the country, pretty much going from retailer to retailer, club to club, helping athletes and coaches and parents get set for the ski season. You know, unfortunate circumstances with everything going on in the world today, but great job for putting this on, and I'm excited to be a part of it. A couple points I want to touch on before I really dive in is, you know, rather than jumping into all the super techie stuff and kind of, I don't want to say boring you, but, you know, what I'm trying to say is there's a ton of resources that Ski Racing Media already has. The gear guide is up on their website. My contact information's up there. In addition to those resources, in the comment section here, there's going to be a link posted to a fit and sizing specific guide, as well as a much deeper dive into the technologies. The gear guide that Ski Racing Media gives you all the stats you want for every product offering we have in the race department, from what bindings are compatible, which plates, the length of skis, the radius, etc. So just know these resources are publicly available. And you know, my main goal here is to have you all walking away from this video feeling more comfortable to go into a retailer. You went to the Ski Racing Media page, you downloaded the PDF of a race form, you got some information, and now you're ready to go to your local retailer and place an order, rather than coming away confused and overwhelmed by getting blasted with a bunch of product specs and technologies, etc. You know, that being said, I'm definitely going to touch on what's new this year and what to expect from our product. So just a little disclaimer there. And, you know, periodically I'll be looking over here. I've got another screen. I've got the Facebook up, so I'm going to be checking if there's any questions. Feel free to write them in the comment section, and I will do my best to answer them. And a little bit about myself. As I said, Connor Farrell is my name. Originally, I am from Sun Valley, Idaho. I was born and raised there. I grew up on the Sun Valley Ski Education Foundation. Shout out SBSEF. An amazing place to grow up, especially as a ski racer, insane terrain. You know, and as I graduated high school, I moved out here to Utah, where I currently am in Park City, Utah, and went to school in Salt Lake at Westminster College. Did not race throughout college. I did more kind of the free ride, backcountry, big mountain stuff. But, you know, throughout my whole college experience, I was always connected to ski racing. Every winter break, I'd go home and I would intern coach with SBSEF and help out you know, any way I could with the program. After I graduated from college, I moved home for a year where I coached the U14 program full time, and you know, really gave me a better understanding of the needs of young athletes as they're growing. And you know, a U14 can come in a lot of different sizes and shapes, so it's important to know you know, that we have these recommendations, but everyone's different, and we do our best to adapt our product to, you know, be the best fit for every athlete as they progress as skiers. After that year of coaching, I moved out to Colorado, where I started working for another ski company, Marker Delville and Vocal, where I was the Western race manager for 2 seasons. And then I am where I am now at Rossignol, going into my 2nd season with the brands. So yeah, it's a little bit about me. And you know, this whole thing is about you. So get ready, and I'll just try to keep it short and concise and simple, and feel free to have any questions. I'll answer I brought some questions along that are commonly asked that I'll touch on as well. So here we go. You know, some athlete updates to jump on, I think is really important just because our, you know, our brand as a tech, you know, overall brand, but we really dominated this year in the technical, technical events. Overall, Rossignol was #1 in the brand rankings for the 1920 season. You know, although the season was cut short throughout the entire season, we had podium results and top results. Some highlight names include, you know, Henrik Kristoffersen, Frederica Brignone, Petra Chlova, William Millard, and that's just to name a few. The team is stacked, it's deep, and all this product, you know, all the way down to the junior program is validated and tested by those athletes. And there's a reason why, you know, we change our products. And it's because those athletes are in the race department working with the engineers and developing what they think is going to work best at the highest level. You know, in addition to the top dogs, we've also got a really stacked U.S. team. We have 13 Rossignol athletes on the U.S. team this year. Really excited. A lot of them, you know, are going to have some of their first seasons where they're really going to get exposure to the highest level at the World Cup, as you know, and getting over to Europe. So really excited to see that. And yeah, I'll start jumping into product here by just talking about how it progresses. You know, from the junior line, from the 128 slalom, Hero R21 Pro, or the Hero R21 Pro GS, all the way up to, you know, 128 to 149 for slalom, and 128 or 135 to 165 in GS. All this product is designed and built specifically to work together with the boots, the binding, the ski, and the skier. That being said, the 128 slalom is not the same as the 135, which is not the same as the 142, which is not the same as the 149. All those are built specifically to get progressively, you know, stiffer and better adapted for the athlete as the athlete, you know, evolves as a skier and a racer, gets bigger, moves into their body. So with that being said, one major change this year in the junior line is going to come in the form of the racing interface. The racing interface is what connects the binding to the ski. This year that comes in the form of our two-piece R21 Pro plate. In comparison to its predecessor, the R20, this plate is longer and lighter, so it can accommodate a boot sole down to 241 millimeter and up to 317 millimeters. So more boot sizes can fit into this. You know, it's compatible with the SPX 10 binding and the NX7. And something to note on that NX7 binding, when you're putting it on, they do come with junior adapter kits for boot sole. So depending on your boot sole length, you know, make sure that when you're ordering and you're getting an NX7, you're checking with your retailer to make sure that the boot sole is going to fit in the binding. And if not, you're going to have to get that adapter kit. And so that R21 plate, what I said, it's longer, lighter, it's got a composite insert. We truly believe in that two-piece plate for the juniors as they work on their timing and develop the skiers. It allows the full body of the ski to flex. And that's important for a young skier to understand, you know, that everything's working together. It's a system, it's a machine. And as they progress, you know, the bindings progress, the boots progress, and hopefully they're progressing. So now I'll work up into the adult, you know, the tweener line and the fist line, starting with the racing interface there. We just touched on it for the juniors. This comes in the form of the R22 Pro. This is a one-piece plate. Truly believe in the one-piece plate after switching from a two-piece plate a couple years ago. This one-piece plate, you know, by our athletes at the highest level, and you know, in unison with our lift kits. And you can find more information on that in the section below, as well as the boot and the binding. It creates a ramp angle, you know, that's neutral and allows an athlete to be in the right position automatically. You know, you're gonna have to work at it, but it's to make, you know, ease of use for you is the main goal there. I'll touch on sort of just the transition from the R21 plate to the R22 Pro plate. This is kind of, you know, an interesting subject for that U14, U16 age where you're not quite sure where you should be. A couple of the product offerings, such as our 149 R21 Pro Hero Slalom up to the 150 Tweener Slalom. What's the difference there? It's pretty much the same length. It is a different plate. So the R22, R21, different binding compatibilities, and really different ability levels. That R22 plate on the 150 is a true tweener ski designed for, you know, that U16 athlete who's ready to start moving up into more adult equipment, as where the R21 149 is a true junior ski made for that U14. And then another ski length that kind of overlaps is the 165 GS. Same thing. We have one ski that has the R21 Pro and one ski that has that R22. So it, you know, it really depends. And you know, I've been relying on coaching staffs and, you know, other connections throughout the ski racing industry to give their opinion to the athlete, because the coaching staff, they're the ones that are, you know, most involved with the athlete. They see him ski every day. They're the ones that are trying to teach them and train them, and they really just have an idea of what their ability is. So as much as it's great to be here, you know, there in person at a Fit Night event, you know, it's always great to have the coaches there, because they truly do know the best for the athlete, as well as the parents, because, you know, the parents are the ones that are feeding the athletes and kind of know and understand their needs and their ability as an athlete. And then I'll touch on some race skis in a different line. So we have our Race Ski Athlete Series, and then we have our Master line. This year, the Master ski is, the GS ski is all new. It has a tighter radius than years previous, which gives it that really classic. One second. Saw that coming. Anyways, roll with the punches. This Master ski has a very modern, playful radius. It's tighter than years previous. This comes with the R22 Pro plate, and we have the super cool new colorway. The new Forza goes super well with the ski, as you can see. And you know, this is not a FIS-approved ski, so this is for that high school skier, you know, retired racer who really wants to get out there and make some turns. In addition to that, we have our long turn, our multi-turn, our plus, and our short turn. So these four skis offer kind of four different variable radiuses and lengths, which is really for the avid skier who wants to be able to, you know, just rip some turns on piste and have fun, but, you know, doesn't want to hurt their back on the stiffness of a true FIS World Cup ski. So those are all great product offerings. And, you know, that Elite Series line, which I was just talking about, the long turn, short turn, plus multi-turn, it's also something you're probably going to see a lot of coaches skiing on. It's a great ski for demoing drills, skiing around with, you know, junior athletes and being able to demonstrate, you know, the technique and turn shape of what you're working on. In addition to that, we have our Hero boot line. All the boots from the Junior 65 up to the World Cup ZC 140, or 150 flex, have our really groundbreaking technology called dual core. And what dual core is two different durometers or stiffnesses of plastic injected simultaneously into the mold. And what this does, having two different plastics allows more rebound, elasticity. It really allows the athlete to progressively flex into the turn, and less of a window with touch. It's less on and off, hit the gas. It allows them to kind of, feather it, as they say, and find their sweet spot and what works for their body mechanics. So, and in these videos in the comment section below, you're going to find a deeper look, a way more detailed video that includes, the real science behind dual core. So please, go check those out. It's a really cool bit of stuff. And I guess something else I should probably touch on is these super sweet new graphics. As you can see on both the ski and the boot, it has the World Championship medal colors. And what this really represents is just victory at the highest level. These colors and this graphic was chosen through a series of focus groups in 5 different countries. Athletes ages U12 up to U21. They were the ones who ended up choosing this graphic, and it really it still screams the Rossignol brand, and it's very clean, but it has that World Championship color going into a year where hopefully we have that event. Another thing I want to touch on with boots is the flex rating. What flex should my kid be in? It's a question that gets asked so much, and it kind of leans back onto the coaches. When we go to these events in the summer and fall and fit a kid in a boot, it's tough to tell because it's usually warm out. So having their opinion and their contribution is important. We also have this sizing chart, and this is a height, weight, and age recommendation chart. There's a PDF in the link in the comment section below. This is a great tool. Please take a look at this if you have any confusion. And also understand that the flex rating of a Rossignol boot is, might not be consistent with the, RZA, for example, might not be consistent with the Atomic Redster 130 flex or the Head Raptor 130 flex. The boots are different. Our plastic is different. And that is, how we've had such great success, especially, with the boot, because the technology in the plastic is truly one of a kind. So we're, and I'll, a little bit enough with the boots, but another thing to touch on would be just all the products we offer. We offer products, it's transversal. We have, shin guards, leg protection. The whole Impacts line includes shin, arm protection, a number of helmets, and goggles. Slalom, full slalom, and GS. This one has a nice carbon finish. And poles. We have the adult slalom pole, adult GS pole, both junior slalom and GS poles, as well as back protectors, apparel, coats, training shorts, etc. And those can all be found in our brochure, which is will be easy to find online on our website as well. So take a look at that, as well as backpacks. Truly the full kit that every junior ski racer needs. And I kind of missed bindings a little bit, so I'll talk a little bit about look here for a second. But something that we moved away from a couple years ago was the max flex binding, which you might remember had the blade connecting the toe piece to the heel. And the reason to move away from that really came from moving to that R22 Pro plate. Because it's a one-piece plate rather than our old two-piece World Cup plate, when the ski goes into reverse camber, right, it needed that blade to keep the connection points between the bindings. Because the R22 plate is one piece, we don't need that anymore, which is why I moved this two-piece and have this heel blocker. As you can see, the screws start there. So there's this whole heel blocker giving you up some ramp, getting you in the right position, and getting those hips forward for every athlete. So yeah, about that. And once again, all the compatibility. Oh geez, almost put that down. All the compatibility stuff is included in the gear guide and can be found in the link on Ski Racing Media's website. Yeah, and another really big thing I just want to push on it is, if you can go and download the PDF of our race form, you'll see our retailer list and go to your local shop. Most those folks are set up and prepared, if not all, to set up one-on-one appointments, a much more intimate sort of experience for you guys to go in there and actually get your boots fit by a professional who has all these resources, who might be watching this video. So please do that. And I am going to go ahead and see if there are any questions here on the Facebook page. And feel free to keep commenting. I'm going to check this page periodically. So yeah. Where do you see skis in 10 years? Andy, I couldn't tell you that. Not sure there. Doesn't look like much is going on right now. But like I said, I'll continue to check these. I think that's all for me today. So everyone, please stay safe out there, stay healthy, and pray for snow. Have a good day. Bye.